This year is Care for the Family's 35th anniversary. I can hardly believe it was all those years ago. I left the legal practice and helped begin this fledgling charity in one room above a hairdresser shop. Time has gone so quickly. And you know, in those intervening years, I've written quite a lot about family life and spoken quite a lot, but the other day I realized I wasn't too old to learn a basic lesson. It happened because I'd been given charge of my granddaughter, Evie. She's 9. She was involved in a big football tournament where her team were playing. It was a cold, wet Saturday when we arrived at the pitch. You know, the kind of place, there actually 12 or so pitches and coaches everywhere and teams milling around, and there was a slight rain in the air. I eventually got Evie linked up with her coach, and then the ref blew his whistle and I began to watch. Evie's team won the first game and drew the second. The third wasn't quite so successful. But to be honest, by the time we got to the fourth and fifth game, I was getting cold. I thought the rain had got a little worse. And as she was involved in a pep talk with her coach, I wondered whether I could slip off unnoticed, see if I could find a cup of coffee. I couldn't find any coffee, but I thought to myself, this is a good time to make that phone call to the car hire company. And you know what it's like, I dialed and they said, sir, your call is important to us. Press 1 if you're a commercial client. Press 2 if you're a private. Press 3 if you're part of our loyalty scheme. And then a voice told me that my call was very, very important to them, but all their agents were tied up. And then they began to play some Beethoven to me. It was very nice, and after about 10 minutes, I thought, I can't stay here forever, and I hit the end button and made my way back down towards the pitches. And that's when it happened. Evie was running towards me, her face looked so excited, and she was yelling something, but I couldn't catch it at first. And then I heard it all too clearly. Pops, did you see it? Oh, Evie, what was that? Pops, did you see my goal? I know that life is busy. It's not always possible to seize every one of those special moments, whether it's a bedtime story with a 3-year-old, a friend's cry for help, or a 9-year-old's goal at football. But you know, I don't think it's done me any harm to realize that so often it's not the big things, not the important things in life that rob us of seeing those special moments, but the silly things, the unimportant things, like my call to the car hire company. And you know, I've not been able to get that phrase out of my mind since Evie yelled it up at me on that rainy Saturday morning. Did you see it? And as I reflect on those 35 years, I really wanted to take the opportunity of thanking you, our friends and supporters, for all your faithfulness down that time, for your encouragement, for your support, for your prayers. These recent years have been especially challenging, haven't they? First there was the pandemic, and coming out of that into the cost of living crisis. In our own family too, we've known some special challenges in recent years. First there was my wife Diane's breast cancer, and then the death of dear Ronnie, the homeless man who came to stay with us one night for Christmas 45 years ago and never left. It seems that many, many families are going through exceptionally challenging times and some despair. And during these times we thank God that we have each other and we have Him. I'm sure you know that just twice a year I ask in this way to our friends and supporters whether you would consider supporting us financially, and this is one of those times. And I wonder whether you would consider sending us a gift. And if you are able to help us with a gift, no matter how small, I'd like to say thank you in a very special way. First of all, I'd love to send you a copy of a brand new book by our UK director, Catherine Hill. It's called Born Free: a call to be still, know God, and flourish in a hectic world. If your mind is a haze of busyness, this book could be balm to your soul. And I know that Catherine would love to sign a copy of that to you personally, to thank you for your support to us. And then secondly, I'd love to send you a real fun book. About 25 years ago, my son Lloyd said to me, "Dad, could we write a book together?" He was about 17. I said, "Son, you've never read a book. Anyway, what do you want to write a book about?" He said, "Well, I want to write a book to show you how you could be a better father." Well, thanks a lot, Lloyd. And we wrote a book together called What Every Kid Wished Their Parents Knew. Now we brought out this brand new edition, except in here, my grandchildren get the chance to say what they think of their parents. I love it. Sweet revenge. And again, I'd love to sign a copy of that to you personally to thank you for your support. With either book, if you'd like them signed for somebody else, just go to the website cff.org.uk/appeal and put the name of the person you'd like us to sign it to. So, dear friends and supporters, in this our 35th anniversary year, thank you for all your kindness, support and encouragement. No charity could have more faithful friends and supporters. Please remember, we are always there for you and your family. May God bless you.